Hello, and welcome to AKS40. AKS40 is use the process of factoring and completing the square in a quadratic function to show zeros. So, when factoring, you use the big X as always. So, big X, AC on top, which will give you 3, and B on bottom, which is -4. And two things that you can put together and get the sum of -4 and the product of 3 be -1 and 3, -1 and -3. So you put them over here. X minus 1 and X minus 3 and X minus 3 equal to 0. Then you equal both separately to 0, so X minus 1 equal to 0, and I'll leave you with X equals 1. And X minus 3 equal to 0 will leave you with X is equal to 3. And these are your zeros of this quadratic function. And if you have a calculator, a graphing calculator, this is your graph should come out like this. And as you can see, it hits your x-intercept at 1 and 3, so that's how you know you're correct. So we're going to move on to our second problem here. So it's the same with factoring. So AC on top, which is 120. B on bottom is 22. And two things you could put together to get the product of 22. Wait, no, to get the sum of 22 and the product of 120 is 10 and 12. But this time I'm gonna do the boxing method, go into more depth with it. Box method is simple. You put your first term on the top left, so 8x squared on the top left, and then your last term in the bottom right, so it's gonna be 15. Then you put the two numbers you got in your when you did the factoring in the x. So you're gonna have 12x over here. You're adding the x to each of these numbers, so 12x and then 10x. Then you find the two things that they have in common separately. So what 12 and 15 have in common is 3. What 12x and 15 have in common is 3. And what 8x squared and 10x have in common is 2x. It's gonna 2x plus 3. And what 8x squared and 12x have in common is 4x. And then 10x and 15 have 5 in common. So what it looks like when you're going to write it over here is 2x plus 3, and then you have 4x plus 5 over here. And then you equal them separately to zeros, like you did over here. So 2x plus 3 equal to 0, minus 3 minus 3, you get 2x equal to -3. Then you divide to get that x by itself, and that will give you x equals -1.5. And then you do the same over here. So 4x plus 5 equal to 0. Minus 5 gives you 4x equal to negative 5. And you divide by 4 to get the x by itself. And your second 0, or x-intercept, will be negative 1.25. So these are your zeros for this quadratic function. And when you plug it into the graphing calculator, this is what you should get. So negative 1.5 is where it hits, and then between the 1 and negative 1.5 will be negative 1.25. So that's how you know you did your factoring correct. This is how you do AKS40. Hope this helped. Bye.